Hello people, and other things too. This is JP4OC, and this is the first ever video that I'll be making of this kind. Hopefully start a series on. This is DVD concept spotlights. First, we'll be doing Springtrap. Now, I've come up with a map, perks for both Springtrap and Micheal Afton as the survivor. So first, the map, which will be Fazbear's Fright. Now, this of course would be the location. There really wouldn't be another location that it could be in. Of course, the entity would want to bring back the most haunted place ever, which is Fazbear's Fright. But moving on from the map, the map isn't as important as the characters. That's what we're all here for. Springtrap. His passive ability would be Phantom's Eyes. Let me read it for you guys. At the start of the match, 2 phantom animatronics spawn randomly on the map. If a survivor is caught by one of the phantoms, they will be jump scared. This will cause blindness and will reveal the survivor to the killer for 5 seconds. You will also be able to deactivate Springtrap and look through one of the phantom's eyes. Also known as, basically, let's say you are playing as Springtrap and you want to look through what the phantom is looking through. You'll be able to do that by maybe like R1, and then you would be able to deactivate yourself to stand still, and then be able to look through what the phantom is seeing to give you a different perspective where the map is and things. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Next are the perks. So the perk for Springtrap, there are 3. Happy Birthday. This allows Springtrap to see a random survivor for 5 seconds, and if the survivor is within 25 meters of the killer gains 5% movement increase. This perk only activates every 2 minutes. Now, I feel like it makes a lot of sense, because like the happy birthday is like, ooh, it's someone's birthday, so Springtrap needs to get there as soon as possible to celebrate their birthday. That's at least my take on it, on why it's called Happy Birthday. The next one is called I Always Come Back. This perk activates when Springtrap is stunned. It allows him to jump back out of stun 10% quicker and give him plus 5 movement for 5 seconds. This perk then gets disabled for 1 minute after use. So right at, let's say a pallet just dropped on like the killer Springtrap, boom, they're able to they jump back out of the stun 10% quicker and get 5% movement speed to be able to catch up to the survivor. Next is Mechanical Instincts. This perk activates when a survivor is hooked. This will cause Springtrap to scream loudly, causing all players within 50 meters to scream for 3 seconds and reveal their location. This will also cause the survivor's movement speed to decrease by 10%. Now, this can be used by all killers. Like, let's say you're playing as the cannibal. Say you're playing as Leatherface. He'll put you up there and he'll put you on the hook, and then boom, big, just like maybe not even a jump scare scream, just a normal scream, a bloody scream, either if it's a boy or a girl. Then it will be like the screen that'll scare the survivors next to them. But then if it's Springtrap, it'll be specific for him, for it to be a jump scare like you see in FNAF 3. And I feel like that would be really cool as a perk, because it's able to do basically everything. It's able to help you with movement, because they decrease the survivor's movement, and you're able to see where they are, which is pretty good. Of course, all players within 50 meters, 25 meters, it could be changed. It doesn't really matter. And and that's really all I have on Springtrap. Even though he is the spotlight, that doesn't technically mean I got a lot on him. But those are the 3 perks and the 1 passive. I think it's pretty good ideas. Some other people have also done a Springtrap concept spotlight. There are some really good ones out there that I watch watch every so often, because I'm like, wow, that's such a good idea. So I highly suggest you check those out if you have the time. But besides that, I think everything that I said here makes sense. These perks aren't too overpowered, yet not too weak, because some perks can just be useless entirely. So next is Micheal Afton. Now his passive is Inside Out. When hiding, Michael Afton is able to see where the killer is for 4 seconds. So only Michael Afton is able to do this. This will allow him to see the killer or anyone for the killer, maybe even survivors, depending on like if it was in the game, for 4 seconds. That'd be really, of course, maybe it would be like, oh, if he was in there for 5 seconds, then he would be able to do it. But I think just right out of the gate, he's able to look at it for 4 seconds as his passive, which I think is pretty cool. Next is his 3 perks. Scooped. This perk activates when Michael Afton or any survivor is near a killer. It allows him to have 5% movement increase for 5 seconds when the killer is 5 meters away from him, but then gets disabled for 1 minute. This would be really good in chases because you're able to outrun the killer. And maybe you can even bump it up to 10% because then you're flying past the killer really fast. And depending on if the killer's really fast, like example, like Michael Myers, when he's like fully on his like fastest speed, you're able to like run without really being in worry, which I think is pretty cool. The next one would be lights on. When Michael Afton is hooked, he makes every generator repair time move 5% faster for 10 seconds, but then gets disabled for 3 minutes. Now, of course, it's for all survivors too, but this is, I feel like, is a really good perk because it helps everyone. If there's only like, if you're the last person hooked, it doesn't really matter because you've lost anyways. But I think this is a really good one because it kind of gives the people around you, let's say there's someone with a generator, like, and they're about to finish it and you just got hooked, then boom, they're able to finish it even quicker, so they're able to get to you. And it's 5% faster for 10 seconds. That's a pretty long time. It's like, it would be like plus the toolbox. Let's say you have a purple toolbox, boom, fast. Next, Father, I found you. When the killer is 20 meters away from Michael, he gains the ability to see where the killer and all generators are for 3 seconds, then gets disabled for 3 minutes. Now, of course, all survivors again, but I personally think this is one of the best perks because 20 meters away, boom, like even 10 meters maybe, like you're able to see where the killer and all the generators are. 50, maybe you can just change the meters however that you think is fit, that makes the most sense. Like, he gains the ability to see where the killer and all generators are for 3 seconds. That's really good because let's say you can't find a generator and the killer is 20 meters away, boom, you can see the killer and where generators are, so you can go to the farthest generator away from the killer, which I think is really cool. But the drawback is it does get disabled for 3 whole minutes, which is a long time, because let's say you just got hooked and then that happens, 2 of your perks are already gone and you ain't getting them back for a while. So that's about it, really. Hello, editor JP here. I forgot to mention Amori for Springtrap. Completely forgot. Sorry about that, but I'm here to fix that. So what I would think Amori would be like would probably be he would put a Fredbear head or a Freddy head on the downed survivor, and then he would punch the probably a Fredbear one because it would be a Springlock one. So it would be a Fredbear head because the Fredbear was also Springlock. So with that, it would, or it can be a Spring Bonnier, it doesn't really matter. And he punches it, causing the Springlocks to go off on the person with the mask on, killing them. That's my thought on Amori, but just wanted to fix that. And the map, Fazbear Fright, Killer Springtrap, Survivor Michael Afton. Of course, you can switch Springtrap out with, like, let's say I do one about Freddy. You can just put Freddy in there, but Springtrap, out of all the technically killers in the game, are probably the one you would want to see the most. And it is even when DBD or Behavior did a survey, Springtrap, Five Nights at Freddy's was on like 3rd most popular to be in the game. I forgot what passed. I'm pretty sure it was Friday the 13th, and I'm pretty sure the last one was Child's Play, but I don't know. But it was like Friday the 13th was like #1, I'm pretty sure. But Five Nights at Freddy's was 3 on that list, was 3rd. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's my take on it. I really hope behavior does add Springtrap, Fazbear Fright, Micheal Afton, and even if it's just Springtrap, that would be so cool to see Springtrap in the game. Like, he fits like all the standards. It's a big IP, so they're gonna make a lot of money off of it, and they're gonna spread the game to like a wider audience that maybe never heard of DBD but is in the FNAF community, and it would just go insane. Like, probably be one of the most like bots, one of the most played killers ever, because like, who doesn't like Springtrap? Like, he's cool. But that's really all I have to say on, well, my DBD Springtrap Killer Spotlight. Now, of course, I will be doing more of these. If this does well, then I'll be doing more. Even if it doesn't, I'm still probably going to do more, because I'm already working on another one for some anime characters that I think could fit in DBD. Even though it's not going to happen in a million years, some of the ones I'm working on, it's still fun to try to see if they would be able to make it into DVD and how they would work, and if they would work, or they're just too complicated or too simple as killers to work, and what difficulty there would be. Speaking of difficulty, actually, Springtrap, I would say, would be a hard, maybe very hard killer to play, because he wouldn't be very fast. He would be kind of slow, because he's like mechanical and stuff, so his gears need to move and stuff. So I think maybe like a very hard would probably be, because Phantom's eyes, you're able to see it, so very hard, I would say. Hard if when you think about it a lot, but very hard for new players and just players in general. And for Micheal Afton, I forgot if the survivors have a rarity, or not rarity, but like a difficulty level. If they do that, I feel like Micheal Afton would be a moderate person to play as. Moderate, maybe even easy, because he would be pretty fast. Because he would be pretty fast and things, and I feel like that would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's about it. Difficulty levels and stuff like that. But that's my take on the DBD Springtrap / Micheal Afton concept spotlight.